Good morning, everyone. My name is Pamela from Sistering. The first time that I realized how poverty could be a brutal, if not a dangerous place for a woman to be in life came when I was a young child. My mother was a victim of domestic violence. She often lamented how much she wished she could leave her relationship, but that she had nowhere to go. She often projected the frustration of her abusive situation towards me, sometimes with physical violence when I was a young child, but more often through verbal and emotional aggression. At 21, after an explosive fight between my parents that catapulted into a brawl involving other family members, which led to myself having to phone the police, I decided I couldn't tolerate the dysfunctional, abusive life with my family any longer. I took what savings I had accumulated from my summer job that year. Instead of returning to university in the fall, I purchased a youth standby plane ticket out of the province to get as far away from my family as I could. Having no employable skills. In fact, at the time, I did not even know how to type. I quickly learned how valuable developing employable skills were to one's survival. I grabbed any job I could get, and most jobs I got were precarious minimum wage jobs. For several years, despite my best efforts of doing everything that I thought I was supposed to do to gain financial independence, such as developing skills, striving hard to get an education, volunteering to gain employable work experience, and working hard at any survival jobs I could get my hands on, I have not been able to get off the roller coaster ride of poverty. I think what makes poverty particularly traumatizing for women is that the poorer you are, the more endangered your personal safety is. The more vulnerable you feel physically, verbally, emotionally, and socially. I have had to deal with a great deal of sexual harassment and bullying from men. I do believe that I would not have had to deal with nearly as much if I were not a woman who seemed more vulnerable to men because of poverty. Often I have had to live in neighborhoods or rooming houses in which I felt very nervous and worried for my safety. After having been severely bullied at my last job, in which much of the bullying was extremely sexist in nature, I was forced to quit. With the help of Sistering to advocate on my behalf, I was able to bring my employer to the labor board and settle out of court. For several years, I have also had to deal with a stalking issue from a man I briefly dated. Because of this, I don't feel safe taking a job dealing with the public. Being a victim of stalking has also further stunted my ability to move out of poverty. I've often wondered how many other women have experienced this type of situation where the fear of harassment has made them fearful of taking a job. Living in poverty has resulted in a huge loss of confidence, in which I have found myself sinking into a quicksand of low self-esteem. This has often made it feel even more difficult, if not impossible, to even imagine myself not living in poverty. Currently, after having to deal with depression and anxiety from several years of being bullied and stalked, I am temporarily on ODSP. The amount most women like myself are given to live on ODSP is, below the poverty level. Things such as the inability to afford a TTC pass, livable housing, and proper nutrition can make it difficult, if not impossible, for women who are in the same situation as myself to make that transfer from ODSP to gainfully employed. I am grateful for all the help that I have received from Sistering, including advocacy, counseling, income support, meals, and helping to establish supportive housing, and for giving so many women like myself who might have felt that they had nowhere to go, actually having somewhere to go. I really do believe that there is a definite growing need for agencies such as Sistering. I have observed the number of women accessing these services as Sistering has continued to increase. While I am very grateful for all the help I have received from Sistering, I hope that the day will come when poverty will be less of a trap than it currently is for women, and that therefore the need for agencies such as Sistering will be declining instead of rapidly growing in need. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences with you.